All right, Stan Smith from On Sharp K9. We got Jemarcus Best.
Better best dog, baby.
There you go. And what are we doing today, sir?
We're doing some socialization training with our guy Deuce, the Cane Corso.
And what's the reason why we're coming out here? What does socializing do for a dog?
Builds confidence. Builds confidence, and that's something he definitely needs, man. Especially the Cane Corsos, you know, from what I've learned and even being around Stan and Trev, that's a spooky breed. You know, they get spooked very easily, so I feel like, do you have to actually over socialize them to a degree to really get them to kind of really dial in?
Yes, and Corsos are defensive dogs, so they're always going to be a little more like apprehensive to stuff, so you're going to have to spend a lot of time building the dog's confidence and developing that line of communication so the dog understands that if you do put them in a certain situation, they're going to be able to overcome because you guys are working together.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so one of the most important things that you always want to teach your dog, especially when you're out in environments like this, something that I learned from Stan and something I even experienced firsthand, which is terrifying, is you want to have a release command, especially when getting out of the car. One time for me, Nala, we were at the park. She had to use the bathroom, I'll give her that, but still, they got to wait for your cue. I opened the door, she jumped out, no leash, sprinted across the street and almost got hit by a car. Now we know Stan's story. He unfortunately has experienced that, and you know, if you go watch that on YouTube, that's not a good story, unfortunately. It's very, very sad. So release command is something you always want to teach. I think we said the big three is what? Release, definitely recall, and what was the other one?
What do we say? Patience, recall,
Yeah.
and then I mean, those are really the main two.
Yeah, but that release is very important though, because like in situations like this, that front door, the car door, wherever you're at, you don't want your dog to lose control, jump out, and then potentially get hit by a car. So one of the things I implemented with Deuce that he did not have when he first came was a release command. Deuce, sit. And don't mind the mess, people. This is a dog car.
And you want to wait for that dog to
Deuce,
understand that he's getting
sit.
out when you give him permission. So one thing you can even do is you can even drop that leash and back up, and he's still waiting. And Jemarcus is clicking to let the dog know, hey, you're doing the right thing. Continue to do that, and then you're going to get that reward. So
Oh, like a reindeer coming out of there too. Coming out there like a little wolf.
And all of these things are about communication, people. If your dog is listening to you, waiting on cues, they're going to be a lot safer, and you're not going to have to go through those experiences like Jemarcus had just told you about.
Absolutely. So the next, when you're in these environments, before you go inside, because we're here at Home Depot, just so you'll know, gotta let him use the bathroom. I'm not gonna lie, when we went to Lowe's the other day, I took him out, he didn't go, and what happened when we got inside? What pissed on the floor, man. I'm like, come on, man, you would do that.
And that's the worst experience that you can have. So make sure your dog is empty and spend some time outside first.
Yeah.
And even do some obedience, get his mind right, and then go inside.
It's always good to let him be curious like this as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because when they're sniffing, they're investigating. We don't want to always be pulling our dogs and making them do what we want to, because we want to make sure these dogs are confident to do things on their own.
Yeah.
Especially these Corsos. We want them to be searching. We want them to be independent. But we also want them to understand that they don't have to be worried about everything. So when he's exploring, sniffing,
There we go.
he
That's
gets
what
to
we
mark. But if you were to put him in control right now, having him heel, he can't pee when he's in a heel. He can't pee when he's doing these commands.
Yeah.
So right now, this is his time. Getting out, sniffing.
Let him do his thing, and then once he uses the restroom, then we'll walk you all through the process of, you know, the importance of potentially just waiting out inside the sliding doors, letting them experience that, letting people walk by, keeping them in control, and then kind of working our way through the, you know, through the Home Depot environment on different things that you can utilize while you're in there to help continue to build their confidence, and most importantly, that bond of communication.
So one of my favorite things to do with dogs is getting them on uneven surfaces, unlevel. So when he gets on, it's going to move a little bit, and it freaked him out. So hold it so it doesn't move with your foot.
All right, Deuce.
So this is what we were talking about. Corsos get a little squirrely. And you can't get squirrely, or you can't get frustrated in this situation, because it's just going to go down to the dog.
So obviously reward him just for getting the two front paws up there, right?
Yep, and then give them a release cue. So free, the same thing you would do to get out the car. Same thing here. We get two on there, I give them the release cue. So basically, yes, you're being stressed out, but I'm going to relieve that stress if you pay attention to what I'm asking you to do.
Do I come on the other side now? Because you want to have them come up on multiple
Hey,
sides.
we'll get them up all the way first.
All right, come on. Deuce, here.
There you go. See if you can get those back feet on there.
Come on. Almost there.
Come
Almost
on.
there.
There he is.
We go.
Now click. Good. Now tell him stay.
Stay.
1, 2, 3, release.
Free.
Yeah. So especially on this, we know he's squirrely, so try to get a short count and then release
Got
it.
you.
And then you can try to add some more duration as you go.
Perfect. Come on. Almost.
So on this, try to get maybe a 2 count because he got up on about 2.
Let's go all the way. Come on.
1.
1, 2, 3.
There it is. Beautiful, beautiful. And this is going to build the line of communication between you and the dog. You put your dog in these stressful situations and then you relieve the stress. They're going to start trusting you more and more and more.
Yeah, and then also, once again, manage your energy too. Like myself, I always tend to stiffen up at times, so I got to remember to relax, have a good time, because he can still feel that, because they still feel everything through the leash, correct?
Yes, this is fact.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, manage your energy as well too, especially if they're not doing the things, because it can get frustrating at times. And this is just that one thing that we always keep talking about, is patience. You got to be patient in this process. They're going to test you. There's going to be moments where they're not going to do it right the way you want it and all that kind of stuff. So you got to manage your expectations as well, because at the root of it, it's like trying to talk to a baby. You know, a baby don't understand a word you're saying. So you got to figure out ways to communicate with it, especially via energy, and in this case, the dog via treats and other forms of rewards per se. So stay tuned. We're about to start heading inside and take this dog on this journey. All right, so we're right here by the sliding doors. I love these doors because they really do tell how confident your dog really is. They get freaked out by them, if they just stare at them, if they're like, oh, I'm curious, I want to walk through there. All good telltale signs, aka identifiers, on where your dog is at collectively in terms of their confidence. And it's not a bad thing if they get spooked on it. It just means you have more work to do. That's all it is. So you just got to be consistent. As we always say, the rule of thumb, people places things at least 3 times a week. Is how often you want to get your dog into these different types of environments, from Home Depot to farmers markets to, you know, nature preserves and stuff like that. We don't like going to dog parks because that's very, very dangerous, just to be clear. We'll do a whole nother episode on that. But just food for thought there. So, Stan, walk me through the process in terms of us being out here in front before we even go inside. Why is it important to do these things right here?
Yep. So I like to have some type of level of communication with the dog already. So he knows sit, stay, heel, down, right?
Correct.
So we're going to do those same thing that he knows. We're just going to do it in a different environment, because this is going to gauge how in tuned with Jemarcus or whatever dog that you have is with the handler. If he's so worried about being around this door or being around these trucks that he's not going to listen to simple basic commands, there's really no point in going inside, because he's going to be so freaked out. You're going to do more harm than you are going to do good when you're working with your dog. So just take him through his paces. He got his rewards, he got his treats, he got his clicker, he got everything that he would, because this is a training situation, people.
Stay.
So people walking by, door opens, he stays. Oh, he broke a little early. So now he just waits, and he wants to give that release cue so we understand when and where. This is one reason why I like Home Depot. There's a bunch of random stuff going on all the time. It's just random chaos, and you see he's a little curious about what's going on. So you can get his attention back. And that's what we're looking for. Yes, there's a guy walking with this pole, with the rod.
Down.
But when Jemarcus asked for his attention, he got it back.
Stay.
So you'll notice one thing that Jemarcus did there. He sat down and then he waited, because the dog is like, are you going to tell me to do it again, or do I have to do it on the first one? If you would have repeated, he would have been like, cool, down means down now. So you want to make sure you're slowing down your process. You're slowing down your communication when you're working with your dog, and you're allowing them to be successful. And you're giving clear parameters of what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do.
Sit.
So now he's going to get
Down.
a correction, which was at that time.
Deuce, down.
And this is him seeing, how long do I have to say? What is acceptable? Can I get up on my own? No, you cannot.
Free.
Good. And this time, Jemarcus didn't try to do as long as a hold. He got it short because we just want to make the dog successful. In these training situations, that's what it's about. Make the dog successful, showing them the right thing they're supposed to do in these situations, and correct them when they're doing the wrong thing. Sit. Sit.
Sit. Sit.
Go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to recreate that same situation.
Stay. Ah.
There we go. There it is. Release them and reward.
Good boy.
When you're working with your dog, it's better to reward success than it is to punish failure. If they know exactly what they're supposed to be doing in these situations, they're going to have a better understanding of what they should do the next time. You also have to remember that they are an animal at the end of the day. You can show them something, but each of these experiences are brand new for the dog. It's about survival, and it's about keeping them safe. Beautiful. So now he's been doing good outside. He's paid attention. He was a little distracted, but I think he's passed the outside test, and now we're going to go in and just walk around a little bit. So y'all stay tuned.